How do you prepare for such game, mentally and physically, going to Friday's game?
We are in the preparation process. You see, in the national team, the first 1 or 2 days, basically, you collect the players because our team is a very diverse team.
Does it make it more difficult, coach, after this scenario of South Africa being deducted 3 points?
For South Africa, maybe, but for us, it's the same. 4 teams can qualify for the World Cup. The last thing you want to be accused of is somehow not giving your best.
Games, big names, and the biggest talking points in sports. Extra Time Unlocked. Every week, ngolwesithathu.
Welcome to Extra Time Unlocked. Namhlanje, it's a Wednesday. We bring you a new exclusive interview. Namhlanje, we're building up to the biggest game this coming Friday between Zimbabwe and Bafana. It's a qualifier for the World Cup. Joining us Namhlanje with Extra Time Unlocked, it's a Zimbabwe coach, Michael Nis. Coach, welcome to Extra Time on Gagas.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm happy to be here.
Coach,
Great to see you.
Coach, do you think it's to your advantage that most of your players know team of South Africa and some have played with some of the players in South Africa?
It could be for both teams' advantage because the South African would also then know our players.
Yeah.
So it will come to the day, to the shape of the day, on the day, to the attitude that every player brings his potential on the pitch, on both sides, and then the better team will win.
Coach, mentally, how do you prepare for such game, mentally and physically, going to Friday's game?
We are in the preparation process. You see, in the national team, the first 1 or 2 days, basically, you collect the players because our team is a very diverse team.
Yeah.
So, in terms of where they come from, where they play, our players play in Europe, in US1, then in Africa, in different countries. So our team in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, so it's a diverse team in terms of where they are playing, and that requires a lot of logistical effort, a lot of good administrative support, and basically the first 1 or 2 days are collecting the players that arrive in time and rested. And there you only train with a smaller squad. South Africa is there very much privileged because I think 80-90% of the players come from the South African League. They have a lot of home matches. So they always have 1 or 2 more training sessions than the other teams, which is a big privilege. So we have to compensate that with training quality, intensity, and team spirit, and good administrative preparation, and support, and logistical planning.
Does it make it more difficult, coach, after this scenario of South Africa being deducted 3 points?
No, I mean, for South Africa maybe, but for us it's the same. But what for us is very important, it's a match which counts in the league table for the FIFA ranking. It has a psychological meaning for the AFCON because we play again against each other. It's a derby. On the top of that, 4 teams can qualify for the World Cup. And the last thing you want to be accused of is somehow not giving your best. And we discussed that in length within the association. We have our responsibility is to be fair sportsmen, to give everything what we have, and to really come out of this match with our heads high. And we have to be fair sportsmen. South Africa is a very strong team. The record speaks for themselves in the last, basically, since you could say, since the second game in the AFCON, in the last AFCON. Before it was also not everything gold, and there was a lot of noise and things, but from the second game in the AFCON, the first game you lost that time against Mali, but since that second game in the AFCON, the things changed, especially when the team went to the second round. Then it looks like almost some energy was released, and the pressure was a little bit gone. And since then, South Africa progressed a lot, counts in the moment definitely among the strongest teams in Africa, no doubt about that.
Does it give you headache, coach, looking at the quality of goalkeepers you have in your team? Does it give you a headache who to start with on Friday?
Well, look, 1 year ago when I came, that was one of the biggest challenges. We had basically no goalkeeper performing consistently on a high level. That was when I came here, that was one of the biggest challenges. Not that the goalkeepers were not talented, but something prevented them for performing up to their best. And in a certain way, I'm very happy that we could really solve that. Every player, goalkeeper to strikers, everybody will here and there make a mistake. That's we are human beings, we're not perfect, but we can be very happy how we solved that, really. We have Washington, Arubi, we have Elvis, then we have Martin Mapisa, who also progressed a lot. He's a bit younger than these two. Then we have Marley Tabasiba also had him, but he's not there. He was injured for about 6 weeks. A very young, talented goalkeeper, and one or other even in the local league. I think that we manage really well. We can be very confident in that department. Of course, they're not two of them are not the youngest anymore. We know that, but in a goalkeeper and in Africa, I don't look so much in the passport. You know, I look rather what they bring on the pitch.
Yeah, and there are key players, coach. That senior players that are expected to play some key role come Friday. Which players do you think, or areas of your concern? In your team, I know you're still preparing for Friday, but what are some of your areas of concern that you want to rectify before the Friday's game?
After this interview, we are working on the pre-match analysis, and even if I would tell you something, maybe in that analysis, we still find some new areas. We respect South Africa. It's a strong team. The record speaks for themselves. The coach also turned the ship around, really, in a very challenging environment. Like I said, in the last AFCON. And we know South Africa, the under-20 AFCON champion.
Yes.
We recently saw the under-17 in the COSAFA Cup in Harare, also very strong. So in this regard, you took very smart advantage of your, how can I say, of this stadium situation, and you really increase the pool of players. That's why I think, every time when you make a pre-selection or so, there's 45 or 48 players announced, which is a large group, and so it shows that you have some depth in the squad.
Yeah.
And you can act if some players get injured or sick or for whatever reason they cannot come, or disciplinary reason. So we know the strengths of South Africa. We have to be definitely in our best on this day. Then South Africa, it's the 6 out of 9 home match in front of ground. That's a big advantage in terms, like I said before, always 2 more training sessions than the opponents. No traveling stress, more rest. We know all that. And there's no secrets, I think, on Friday. Both teams know each other very well. And it's when you have an away match, it's a logical thing that we meet at a place where we are playing. I mean, we have a home match, but it's
sort of away.
Home away from home. And so it was logical that we meet here. I mean, it's an international airport. You can fly in from Dubai, or you can fly in via Joburg, and that makes it simple. The hotel is a very good hotel. We stayed there in March, so we had some routine here. In Durban, though, the training pitch can be a little bit challenging, I must admit, as it is in Johannesburg. But it is a logical thing. Otherwise, they would have all come to Harare, and then from Harare we would have to fly again here. That wouldn't have made much sense. I think we applied common sense. Everybody is responsible for their own situation. We are responsible for our situation, which is if they want, we can swap. I have no problem. We changed the game to Harare and we changed the points in the table. I would have not have any problem. But everybody is responsible for their own situation. And we have to focus on us. Yeah? We cannot qualify anymore. That doesn't mean we need to put our head in the sand. We know what we still have to work on. Yeah. But we also can have self-belief. We had also good performances, and we have talented squad. We have a mixture of experience and youngsters, local and players from clubs outside of Zimbabwe. I think in the coming December we will have a good squad. I'm very, very confident. We came a little bit on. In May May was the only period where you can test players because it was no qualification matches. And we discussed it in length also within the association. What are we doing there? We wanted to give some key players rest because, the club versus country row, it's a World Cup, it's AFCON, it's Club World Cup. It's a so incredible packed calendar that we said we give our boys who have a little bit of small injury free. And we tried to give other players a chance. I think in May, June, there was 12 players which haven't been with me before. And we played against the full strength Burkina and Niger. And if we would have had a full squad and if it would have been a qualification match, we would have had a different squad. But on the other side, we wanted to give players a chance. We wanted to increase the depth in the squad. Yeah. We didn't have the time like South Africa or with the Chan to have these opportunities because last year the Chan, for example, it was at the end of the season. And there was no way we could assemble a proper Chan team because every club would have protested very, very strong. So we sent there a young, inexperienced squad without training to the Chan. And then were eliminated just to find out there was another possibility to enter the competition. South Africa, again, was there very privileged. So they took very much advantages of that whole situation and could increase the squad. We still have to work on that, the depth in the squad. But coming December, I'm very confident we will have a very good team. We must not panic because we also have this qualification group is a very strong one. Actually, 4 teams out of this group, World Cup qualification group, are in the AFCON. I think there's no other group in all that qualification. 4 teams out of that. We also in the AFCON qualification. I think we're a very balanced, competitive group. So I think we are realistic, positive. Yes, the last 2 results were not like we wanted, but we couldn't use our suspended player, like Marshall Munetsi. Very key player for us. It's not for us very much key, and we missed him. And then we had in the second game, I think 3 or 4 players missing again, suspended players, and. But on the other side, that is almost a chance for other players. We try to make use of these opportunities as good as possible. And for December, I'm very confident. But also on Friday, we must bring a very good showing. We owe that to our own fans, to our own leadership, to our own government. We want to show a good fight.
Coach, thank you so much for your time and good luck for Friday.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, KZN. This is Extra Time Unlocked. Go to our Gagasi FM app. Ila uzothola khona ke yonke le podcast. This is Extra Time Unlocked.